you guys are fans of Ford, you'll know that Ford has a deep history in the World Rally Championship. And so I guess it would be not surprising to find out that the latest and greatest Ford Mustang Mach-E is the rally version. And we're here in Seattle to find out exactly just how quick and just how fun the new Ford Mach-E Rally is. And does it actually uphold Ford's long tradition of off-road rally racing? How does a Mach-E drive on the road? Because that's where it's going to spend most of its time. Well, it's very much like a nice, quiet, cushy electric car, which could be soulless or could be luxurious. But the problem I have with this on the road isn't that it doesn't drive well because it's quick, 0 to 60 in just under 3.5 seconds, or that it's powerful because 700 pound-foot of torque is incredible. It's that it's expensive. The regular Mustang, oh, be quiet, I know where I'm going. The regular Mustang Mach-E GT starts at about $53,000. This, just a little bit shy of $60,000, and that is a lot of money. And now you're getting into some pretty stiff competition, like for instance, the Hyundai Ioniq 5N. And I know that's not an off-roader per se like this, but it still is a sports car, and a very good sports car at that, that's got a lot of tricks up its sleeve. To me, the magic in this car is, it was the kind of car I was looking for when I first moved to Colorado, because it was the kind of car you can take to the ski area, and at the same time you can also take off-road. In other words, the Swiss Army knife of sports cars. Because most sports cars, let's face it, they're great on-road, but you know, once you hit the dirt with them, they're too precious, or they're too high-strung, or they're too stiffly sprung to actually be usable off-road. And yet this allows you to go in the dirt and tear it up, or you could stay on the road, and when it snows, because of the all-weather tires, you can take it to your favorite ski hill and not be afraid of getting stuck. But you're probably more interested in what it's like tearing around on the off-road. So luckily we have a video of my friend Kyle taking this thing off-road and sending it. Now, I didn't send it because my back is pretty hosed up from my last trip in Moab. So let's cut over to Kyle and let's see what this thing is like off-road. And actually, it's pretty damn fun on-road too. Oh, I think I just exceeded the speed limit there. Sorry about that. But yeah, that is a hoot. Unfortunately, not so much for my videographer.
It's Kyle from Out of Spec, and I'm going to take you guys around the rally course in the Mustang Mach-E Rally. As usual, we've done this properly. I have the car dialed up into the rally sport mode, and secretly we have turned off traction control all the way, so we can actually rip, allegedly. If any viewer is watching from Ford, just click away from the video right now. And I've had the chance to drive this car around the course already, so we are fully dialed up in max performance. We probably won't talk much while we're driving, but I can at least give you a chance to show how you can use the weight of the car to induce a slide, how the throttle really pushes the rear motor, and then as you come across center to correct a slide, the powertrain starts shifting the power to the front motor, and it pulls you out of a slide. It's pretty cool, and you can have a lot of fun. So, let's go for it. Best way to launch it, left foot on the brake, floor it with the right, and pop off. Here we go. Rock and roll, baby. And on the brakes. So let's get it into some corners. Start having some fun. Hell yeah. So when you lift off, the front just goes and washes a little bit, but totally fine. It's super slippery back here. You just mat the throttle and you can smooth the car all the way around, which is hilarious. Get off the brakes, get a little bit of front traction, and then mat the throttle. It's awesome. Here we go, max angle, baby. Coming in through a pretty tight section now. So, let's get it sideways. Here we go. Just staying in the throttle, going for max. Yeah, buddy. Max angle right there. Yes. Right to the end of the steering rack. Good first lap. Let me know when we're good to go.
Let's do it.
Final run. Let's go for it. It's so easy to drive this thing. Absolutely full set. Yeah, buddy. You can just get it right to the outside. I love it. Let's go for it. Thank God it was grippy there. Cone. Let's come all the way out here, yeah? And it just bogs down a little bit.
Finish.
And we're done. And we'll go to the left here.
Great drive.
Hey, thanks, dude. By the way, for the TFL viewers, if you're curious about my thoughts, yes, big smiles, big fun. Would love to see a little bit better thermals, a little bit more ABS feedback through the pedal. In fact, reduce ABS in Rally Sport, which they don't, just so I can get some more wheel lockup. And for hardcore drivers, like on dirt, it does the EV thing. It does what you want it to do. So very pleased with what Ford did to actually make it hilariously fun in the loose surface. So, all right, I'll give you back to Roman. And thank you guys for joining me on the fun portion of this drive.
At this point, you might be wondering what separates the Mach-E Rally from the bare bones GT. Well, I had a chance to talk with the engineer who actually told me that there's a lot of changes between the GT and the Rally that make it much more off-road worthy.
My name is Christopher Burchin. My title is I'm the off-road attributes engineer at Ford Motor Company, not the I'm one of. And so for the Mach-E, that's my role as well as the off-road attributes for it.
So you got a fun job.
I do, yes. During the day when it's meetings, it's like everything else, but the testing and some of the work I get to do is a lot of fun.
So it's kind of cool to have a rally car back in the Ford fleet. I mean, Ford has an incredible history of rally car racing. So let's start with the basics. How does it differ from the GT?
Okay, so it starts as a GT.
Yep.
We use that as our build from. From there, we add the white wheels, which people have been really liking. It's a 19-inch wheel. That gives us a little more room for a taller sidewall. So the tires actually grow the car height a little bit. We have added longer springs, front and rear. So the final result is about a 1-inch increase in ride height. There's a different front fascia for a little bit more approach angle, so that you don't catch that when you're rally crossing. The MagnaRide shocks, which come on the GT as well, we have our own calibration. And so we've added our own unique drive mode. So there's the usual whisper, engage, and unbridle. On top of unbridle now is Rally Sport. And when you shift to Rally Sport, the MagnaRide calibration changes, the pedal map changes. It's been linearized for greater control when you're out driving the car. The steering calibration also changes. It has a little bit higher damping to give you some more control over the rough stuff. That pretty much takes care of that. It opens up the stability as well. It's in Rally Sport mode. You can go full off, and you have no intervention. You can spin the car, you can have it hang out, yacht, and all that good stuff. So
let's start with the tires. I noticed that I love the wheels, by the way. I noticed that it's rolling on Michelin Cross Climates.
Michelin Cross Climates, yes.
Which are these kind of interesting all-weather tires, right?
They are.
So why'd you go with an all-weather tire?
We went with an all-weather tire. We actually had a lot of people are asking us, hey, did you go with an all-terrain? We didn't. We tried all-terrains. And on the rallycross course that we have, we built a special rallycross course in our proving grounds to try it. They actually weren't any faster as a lap time. And then the on-road portion, because it is still, after all, a street car, the on-road portion actually suffered. There are higher rolling resistance, which hurts your battery range. The attributes for wet handling, these type of things, where they didn't quite get us what we wanted. The Cross Climate has been delivering everything we wanted, so it's been a great tire.
We've owned a couple long-term review cars, and we've put Cross Climates on them.
Okay.
We found the sidewall to be very stiff. The ride's a little bit harsher. Have you noticed that at all?
Well, we did have a unique calibration for all the modes, actually. The Rally Sport mode gets its own, it's a new mode, but also the other modes have been recalibrated to work with the tire. So the Mach-E Rally is actually the best riding on-road Mach-E of the bunch. The GT is a lot more track, a little more high-performance track type focused. This one is actually a great daily driver. So.
And the other cool thing about the all-weather tire is for people who never go rallying, it's a really great snow tire.
It is, yeah. It's great water as well. Yeah, very good for rain. Yep.
So the Mach-E might actually be the best all-weather car out of all of them. Yeah,
it's a great all-weather car. Yep. Yeah, you get the rally, you're good for everything. Yep.
All right. Have you done anything else on the interior? Different seats, different steering wheel? Is there anything else that you need?
The seats, they're the higher performance seats.
Yeah.
The unique part of it is they have the white rear cap. The plastic trim on the back is white.
Looks kind of badass.
The steering wheel has a white cap, and the stitching on the seats and on the dashboard is all white. It's all keyed into the rally.
Okay.
So,
and then in terms of weight distribution, 50-50? I mean, you've got a very low center of gravity with the battery.
Very low center of gravity. That's what most people don't realize with electric cars. The weight is very low, giving us a very good balanced car. It's very close to 50-50 at curb.
Yeah.
So it's a very well balanced car.
And how about power distribution? 50-50, or is it change?
It's an active power distribution, so it does change. The computer's always doing their thing and looking at yaw rates and steering inputs and so forth. It shoots for about 40-60, so a slight rear bias. It can move it around 30-70 and so forth, that type of thing, but it's a slight rear bias for performance.
And how does like one pedal driving work on a rally car? Do you still have regen?
The regen is greatly reduced in rally sport mode.
So it coasts.
It will coast.
Yeah.
Yep. The reason for that is you want to know what you're getting when you back out of the pedal. You can be in situations where the regen might actually upset the balance and so forth. So in the rally sport mode, I don't know that it's 100% off. I would have to check with the drive controls folks, but it is reduced. It's not the high regen mode like you can put in some of the other modes.
Now, one of the unique things, of course, about electric cars is instant torque, but that comes at the price of a lot of weight. How are you dealing with that?
Honestly, I mean, just the balance of the car, yes, it is a car that weighs what it weighs, but it handles it very well. Like we talked about, the weight distribution is very low. The car likes to pivot about the center. It's very easy to point. And honestly, the weight kind of disappears. It disappears around you as you drive it. So it's just been really well tuned and handles it beautifully.
And it's got GT horsepower and torque, right? 480 horsepower?
480 horsepower, 700 pounds-feet of torque.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah. So I think the 0 to 60 figure is 3.4 on it. So it's pretty quick.
Can you hoon it?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you go,
if you want to drift it, if you want to do a 360, you can do all that. Yep.
Now, I was talking with one of the instructors here. We're at Dirtfish, obviously a great off-road kind of rally course just outside of Seattle. And he said that one of the issues that they're having is battery life. He's saying you use a lot of battery when you're hitting it hard. How do you guys deal with that? I mean, the normal range on I think the GT is 280 miles. Have you seen like that decrease when you're out there?
The rally's range is 265.
Okay.
Just the height, the aerodynamics, and so forth, the rolling resistance. So it is 265. We've done a lot of testing with it in our rallycross course and so forth. And it's yes, the more you hoon it, the more battery you do use. But it's completely usable. You can get through an event. It's not going to leave you stranded quickly.
Can you drive it to the event and race it and drive it home?
We'll find out. We haven't done it yet. Yeah, we haven't done it yet as far as actually competing. But if you play your cards right, probably. Yeah.
And talk about those white wheels? I mean, those are classic WRC wheels. Is that something you guys designed, or is that because they look like what's the name of the company that builds those?
They are kind of modeled after the OZs from back in the day.
Yeah.
The Super Turismos, which are the rally wheels. If you go and look at Ford's history, right, we had the Cosworth RS rally car in the 90s, and they had a version of the wheel that looked very much like that. And so that was inspired. That was what we were going for, was that look for the rally.
So I know you don't talk about future product, but so you've got the base Mustang, and then you got the GT, now you got the rally. Will there be an RS? You know what I mean?
That's all outside of me. I can't comment on that, and they'll tell me later. So
I'll look for one with a roll cage.
Okay, there you go. Perfect. Yep. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, appreciate it as well.
Welcome to the Mustang Mach-E Rally. Let's do it.
Car, it's kind of status quo. It has a 90-ish kilowatt hour battery, which in this model is good for 265 miles of range, which is so-so. Another so-so thing is it charges only at 150 kilowatts. The The competitors now are up to 250 or more if they're 800-volt architecture. And it also now has the ability to actually use the Tesla supercharger network, which is a game changer in a lot of ways because it allows you to cross-country this car without having to necessarily get a lot of range anxiety, because let's face it, the Tesla superchargers are the most common and probably by far the best of all the charging networks out there. So as an electric car, it's okay. I mean, if you're looking for a car that has more range, if you're looking for a car that charges faster, there are a lot better options, but none of them, outside of maybe a Rivian R1T, which is a lot more expensive, or an R1S, will actually do the same thing that this does and put that kind of a smile on your face, at least when you're off-roading. Most of us are probably not going to do some crazy off-road stuff, even though you could, but the fact is, this may be the most Colorado car of them all. In other words, it's going to be perfect for Colorado with all-weather tires, more ground clearance, and a more supple ride. So if you're looking for your next ski ride, the Rally Mach-E might just be it. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time. I can't believe they pay me to come out here and do stuff like this. Oh yeah, yeah. Now that dude sent it. See you guys next time. Ciao.